Shakam. Today I'll be reading from the books of the Natsarim and the Enlightened ones. Let's jump right into it. Judge no man otherwise than you would wish to be judged. Once a young woman was carried off and placed in a whorehouse in another country. Her father sent 2 men to ransom her, and when they came to the whorehouse, one remained outside while the other went in. When he who went in came out, he said to the other, "What do you think I was doing in there?" The other replied, "Why, negotiating the woman's ransom. Even so, you judge with the scales weighed down favorably." YAHAYASHA taught his disciples thus: all things a man possesses, his talents and his skills are gifts bestowed by the grace of Yahaya. The inheritance received by anyone should be regarded as something received in trust, and it is true that if they deal with it wrongfully or selfishly, payment will be required. One of the greatest gifts of life's test is the challenge of wealth or position. Few are those who successfully meet it. Therefore, do not envy those with wealth and position unless they deal with them wisely. Otherwise, pity them, for they have failed to rise above their test. A wayfarer once came to an inn, and finding no one there, went into the eating hall, where he found a table set with all good things, many kinds of foods and drink. So he sat down and helped himself, thinking, "No one else is here, so all this must be mine. And if mine, I can do with it as I please." However, when the innkeeper returned from where he had been, the wayfarer could not escape the accounting. The rich are responsible for providing the needs of the poor, whether by work or food. This, above all, is the prime responsibility of wealth. And if rich man says that this he cannot do, then his riches witness against him. For if a poor man has a loaf of bread, he will share it with he who has none. And a beggar at the door of a poor man receives better treatment than he does at the doors of the rich. Yet the rich have the most to give, and this is the sin of the wealthy. Riches of themselves are not sinful. It is what they make of the men that brings them into ill repute. If they were properly regarded as something permitting the possessor to study the books of wisdom and to redress the wrongs of the poor, then they will serve a good end. Let the rich ask themselves with sincerity, am I not wealthy because of my lack of charity and the expectation of others? Is it not because I love myself more than my neighbors? Is it dangerous to be near a man without wisdom? It is dangerous to be near a man without wisdom. He is like a tree with many fine branches, but few roots. The winds of adversity blow, and he is uprooted. Choose your friends with great care, measuring them against the words of wisdom. The man who is himself a good friend will never lack friends, but those who think they have many friends have none. The loneliest person is one living for himself alone, but it's better to be lonely than to be in bad company. YAHAYASHA said, "It is not unseemly to glory in your strength, but never become vain, for in strength you are not superior to the beast. If the standard is to be the ability to bear a heavy burden, an ass can carry on more than any of you. An elephant is mightier than a score of men, while a camel has more stamina than any man. Strength and stamina are goodly things, seen in their right perspective, but they can be a heavy handicap on the path of spiritual development, particularly if they lead to arrogance and inconsideration for others. Strength, like riches and knowledge, is a goodly thing of itself if properly utilized, but for the most the test is too great." Some disciples came to YAHAYASHA and asked whether they should not withdraw into the wilderness where they would dedicate their lives to Yahya. YAHAYASHA said, "Of what use would my teachings be in the wilderness? Of what use would my teachings be in the wilderness? Are you going to save rocks from sin or convert camels? Will you enlighten the wind or give wisdom to marriages? Where is the benefit if what you learn cannot be put into practice? Learning good and good conduct must go hand in hand, and the greatest wisdom is that which teaches men to live in harmony. They who seek to escape the tests and trials of life are cowards." Ooh, are you going to withdraw from the conflict through lack of courage, standing silently by while the wicked swallow up the good? The disciples said, "Master, are you bringing strife or peace? Do you prepare us for battle? Are we to rally the people?" YAHAYASHA said, "Do you still not understand? I am a man of peace, and I unsheathe only the sword of the Rayak, of the spirit, of the Nashamayah, of the YAHAYASHA Nashamayah. This is not the easy way, for it is less difficult to change things with the sword than with soft words, and those who oppose us understand that better. But let only those who would use weapons with courage talk about soft words and peace. Otherwise, better men will justifiably scorn them as cowards. Cowards talk about peace, and brave men about war. But I tell you that when brave men talk peace and cowards are sent to war, there will be no more strife, and a new day will dawn." And I'm going to end it right there. That's a great message. So basically, what all this is saying is the rich, all of their money that they hoard, it will literally be a testimony against them. All of their riches will testify against them in the next life because they have hoarded up their money and they have kept it to themselves and they have not shared it. This is telling you that although you may be a righteous person, although you may be a person of good heart, the Most High does not want you to run away. He wants you to be brave, stand in the face of the wicked, so that you can face all the sins of the world and with courage, and you can also be a good leader to people and show people what it means to be a good person during these dark times. How can you do that if you try to run away? Just like with the rapture, um, why do you think the Most High wants you to go through the trials and tribulations with the wicked? Because he wants you to be basically an example for the wicked, to show them what to do when times are hard. And then this last part, it says, do you not understand that he is a peaceful person? But just because he is a peaceful person doesn't mean he's a coward. Did he not become crucified and stand by what he said? Did he not do everything that the Father sent him to do? And in order to do that, you must have courage. He is our greatest example of what it means to be a brave man of peace, to stand in the face of adversity with strength and courage and love, true compassion and mercy. AMANAYAH, AMANAYAH, YAHAYASHA, YAHAYAH. Indeed, Ahaba Yahaya, Ahaba YAHAYASHA, Tayada.